Three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name's Mike Piroworski, coming to you live from the East Coast. It's the coast with the most, with no wildfires, and we're the best. Here on The Rundown, 2A Views, conservative news. And Craig, are you crispy over there yet? What's going on?
I am not crispy at all, but I will tell you what I am doing. I am kind of enjoying this day because it is one of my favorite days.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
Throw punch Thursday, bitch.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
Check
very
your
nice.
volume, Craig. Your volume is very low. Everything else is
Very
good. You're
low now?
you're low. Yeah, you're low.
Wow, because when I was listening to it, when I was listening to the backup as it was coming across the thing, I was coming in very, very hot. So how am I sounding now?
Well, you're hot because all the wildfires there in California. That's why. That's it.
Good stuff, good
Now you
stuff.
sound
But we're
good.
having a
Now
good
you sound
time.
good. Where
Now
are
I
the
sound
fires around you? You're in California, so I figure they're all around you, right?
Well, they're not all around me. See, there is California is a very tall state, so all of the fires right now are in Southern California. They're all like around basically they're surrounding Los Angeles. Basically, when we say Los Angeles is going to hell, apparently they have arrived.
Where's your Newsom now?
Well, he lives in Napa, so he's sipping on some wine, having a good time, more than likely.
Just no.
No,
effing
he's actually
Merlot.
he's drinking like port wine.
Port wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I picture
No,
him
dude.
enjoying wine via an enema. So it's
You
Maybe
know
he likes
why
to
did that would not surprise me one bit. But hey, I want to say a big thank you to everybody out there who's been sending messages asking if we're okay out here in California. Yeah, just so you guys know, I'm in Northern California. Those fires are about 7 hours away from us. Interestingly, while there has been not a lot of rain this year down in Southern California, in Northern California, we're doing just fine. Now, mind you, we could probably have some water to send down to Southern California for them to deal with these fires if we didn't just let it all run out into the Pacific Ocean. But
Yeah.
at least we have enough
Not allowed to
water
do
to
that,
make
yeah.
sure we're not dealing with wildfires.
yeah. No wildfires, but you do have the mudslides this year because of the water. So
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
But there have been a few mudslides, but usually what happens is the wildfires come first, then the mudslides, because
That's right.
there's no roots to hold the mud down.
roots. You got the roots. The roots.
Got to
yeah.
have them roots.
So would you rather stay there and deal with the mudslides, the wildfires, Newsom, immigration, crime, or go in the Northeast and shovel snow, or come to Florida and have to worry about alligators climbing over your fence?
Where are my grandkids?
Your grandkids are in all three locations.
Oh, I deal with the alligators because see, at least if you conquer the alligators, you get a nice pair of shoes, nice pair of boots.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you just got to treat them like I said, the swamp puppies. That's all. You just treat them like a dog.
Swamp puppies.
Yeah.
Folks, for those of you who do not know Mike, I could totally see Mike walking down the street with his shorts on and his jacket on, smoking a cigar, walking an alligator on a leash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
Let's do it.
you done your business yet?
Yeah. Come on, drop that poodle. Let's go. Yeah. They want to see Fifi again.
they want to see Fifi again.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you, folks. It was, and once again, I don't know how often y'all watch, but if you watched that one episode, it was hilarious. I was literally just talking about, telling Mike, well, at least, You can put up a fence and keep the alligators out, right? And in the middle of the show, he starts sending me videos of alligators climbing fences, including one where it was a wrought iron fence and the alligator just pushed his way through.
Like it wasn't there. Just like
it was
yeah.
like it wasn't even there. Like dude at the three ring circus just bending the bars.
Like Superman when they put handcuffs on him. Oh, those are nice. What
Oh
were
yeah.
those for?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, needless to say, when my wife saw those videos, she was like, "Ooh, you want to move where?"
Yeah. Listen, and it's not all willy-nilly free for all down here. We all know, don't go in the water. Okay, you just don't go in the water. You just if you're going to water, go in the ocean because you got a chance to get some. You can punch them in the nose. Right. But
there you go.
In the freshwater, you don't go in the water. You don't.
No. Land shark, or freshwater shark, or a saltwater shark.
Yeah.
Or freshwater gator, seawater gator.
Yeah. Well, those would be the crocodiles. We do have them close to the shore, but the Florida American crocodiles. Yeah.
Oh joy.
They're a little more aggressive.
Oh joy.
But their snouts are thinner, so they can't get a big bite on you.
Well, there you go. There is that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, smaller set of scars when they're done with you. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, it's about time for us to get into today's program. But before we do, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, let's say hi to our good friends over at Hitman Industries. In fact, spent about an hour and a half there today with the guys and the girls. So hello to everybody there. That's hitmanindustries.net. If you've got yourself an AR in the past 5 years, probably got one of their barrels, you don't even know it. Now you can buy factory direct. Just go to hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, the best kind you can get, you just go over to Hog Holsters, HAWG holsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, whether it's military, law enforcement, fire, EMS, security, civilian applications, you can get everything except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. These are sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do them a favor. Do us a favor. Do yourself a favor. Visit their websites. All you got to do is follow the links in the description of this program. Just go there, check them out, press on it. You're going to see some stuff that you're going to like. You're going to want to leave some money with them. And when you do, make sure you tell them it was the guys over at The Rundown that suggested that you stop by. Also,
Don't forget,
want to...
You could come visit us and all of them in 11 days. At our SHOT Show Vegas party. You don't have to be going to SHOT Show. Just be in Vegas on the 20th and meet us at the Hofbrau House.
Come to the Hofbrau House. It's going to be a lot of fun, folks. It's not a lot of presentations or stuff like that. You're going to meet some of the coolest people in the industry who are there to have a good time and chit-chat, chitty-chitty, chat, drink good beer, and eat German hors d'oeuvres.
That's it. I think we're going to do all pretzels this year.
All right, maybe all pretzels, and for those of you who are into it, you can get spanked too.
If you've been a bad boy, you need to get there. Yeah.
See, that's by the way, for those of you who worry every year because you keep getting a lump of coal, if you're gonna be a bad boy, this you can do this in exchange and maybe earn some points towards not getting a lump of coal at Christmas. Just saying.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lump, all right. She's unbad.
A lump on your rump.
That's it. A rump lump.
A rump lump. Yeah. All right, let's get into today's program. And we're going to start off talking about, what everyone right now is talking about, and that is the LA fires. And I know every year there are fires in Southern California or in California, period. There's wildfires every year. What makes this year's wildfires so unique is that they are probably the worst and the closest fires that have ever been to, in particularly, Metro LA. I mean, metropolitan Los Angeles is surrounded by wildfire, and it's pretty darn bad. And I want to, as an example, to kind of show you guys, this is a video that was put out there. It's being put out there by the New York Post. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. And you can see here, I mean, these are people's homes. I mean, Star's homes are literally burning to the ground. and it is an ugly sight down there. These are in the hills right outside of places like Glendale, like Hollywood, Malibu. I mean, you name it. Name the suburban city, and they are all dealing with and suffering from this stuff. And the interesting thing about this is that people act like this is like something like this could never happen. Like this was completely and utterly unanticipated. Well, this is a clip of Joe Rogan where he's been telling this particular story dating back, I want to say 2018. He's been telling this story about a firefighter and about having to evacuate his home there in Southern California. So for anybody who tells you that this is unanticipated, nobody knew this was coming, check it out.
Fire department show. Shout out.
Yeah.
Fire department shirt.
It's a badass job.
Tough people, man.
Yeah.
Those people, they don't get nearly the credit that they deserve. So I was talking to this guy, and he was telling me, he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through L.A. all the way to the ocean, and there's not a thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through L.A., and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. Because these fires are so big, dude. When they're talking about like thousands of acres that are burning simultaneously with like 40-mile-an-hour winds.
So, and the things that in particular that he's talking about is, number one, obviously, California is horrible when it comes to dealing with brush and clearing away brush. So there's a lot of this is just, there's a ton of fuel there because in LA County, they don't invest resources in that. Then you have the poor water infrastructure that led to the lack of water in the fire hydrants. Not just the fact that they don't store water, but they don't store enough water because they haven't bothered to increase the amount of water storage down there for things like wildfires as the population has grown. Then you have on top of all that, a lot of these decisions are made in the city of Los Angeles by the Los Angeles City Council, who are all a bunch of city dwellers who could care less. They're more interested in DEI and whether or not they have enough gay, lesbian, transgendered firefighters, left-handed firefighters of color, than they are about making sure that firefighters have the resources that they need in order to be successful. It's just, in every sense of the word, Michael, it is a failure that can be pointed to specifically the left-wing leadership there in Southern California.
Yeah, absolutely right. Their failure to plan has created these emergencies. Craig, the irony of this is those people that would welcome new construction and a new house and a new landscaping or whatever you want to call it. Your Comptons, your Riverside, your East LAs. They listen. Nobody wants to lose their house, but if I'm going to lose my house and you're going to build a new one because the FEMA's coming in and I got all sorts of insurance, why isn't it those people that need it instead of all these rich people out in the hills?
Well, Mike, I think you're going to start to see a lot of those resources are going to start to they're going to start to disappear. Well, first of all, also it's important to understand this. About 2 months ago, a lot of the people in these homes, their homeowners insurance, in particular their fire insurance, got canceled. 2 months ago, there was a mass cancellation throughout California of people who lived in places that were deemed at high risk for wildfires, and a lot of these folks don't even have. They probably haven't even gotten new fire insurance, and if they did, chances are it was through the state, which basically means guess who's going to be footing the bill in order to replace their homes.
Yeah, now Florida did that after '92 with the Hurricane Andrew come through then, and they said, listen, you want to build your house on the beach? We got a whole separate plan for you. It's called You're on Your Own. And then they came up with the state plan. And if it's your second home and your second home's on the beach in a catastrophe zone, you're really on your own. You're really on your own. Yeah. It's, listen, I'm not going to build. Why would I build my house on the side of a volcano? I wouldn't do it, So, well, but where these natural disasters continually occur and where you're at a much higher risk of total destruction, I shouldn't be paying for that. You should be.
Well, but here's the thing, and in California, what they won't let them do is if you choose to live in a high risk fireplace,
$5,000. So they came out and did $5,000. So they came out and did their little assessment. Guess how much damage I had, Craig?
$22.50.
I had $4,900 worth of damage, but a $5,000 deductible. So I came up with negative $100 on the deal. And so I get nothing. I get nothing for the $4,900. So I looked at the guy and I said, "How about you just tear that up and we pretend you weren't here? That way it's not a claim." He goes, "Done." You know. So
Exactly. Which, by the way, when you consider the amount of damage that is largely done, I mean, $5,000 is not a, it's not a small amount of money, but in the end, it's not like your entire house was destroyed. And mainly what insurance is good for is in the event that, we're talking catastrophic. And nowadays when it comes to insurance, my thing is that, look, if it's something is catastrophic, I want to make sure it's covered.
Yeah, and let's be clear. This was the house was completely livable. This was some minor cosmetic damage, and I waited until the end of the 6th month to make the claim. That way, those people that were waiting for true assessments because they weren't in livable conditions, I didn't get in their way. I waited till the very end to do it, and then I was like, wasted my time. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what's funny though, Mike? It's funny though in this particular situation, what's going on down there is to watch the left turn on Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass over there. And there's just I got a few quotes here that are from over at Fox News. And this is Sarah Foster. It says, "We pay the highest taxes in California. Our fire hydrants were empty. Our fire department budget was cut by the mayor." That's right. Cut $17 million out of the fire department budget. But thank God drug addicts are getting their drug kits.
What's wrong with her lips? It looks like she's having an allergic reaction or something.
Oh, dude, and the whole duck lip thing. I don't know. All right. Here we go. This is Valentin Chemarovsky. 5th largest economy on the planet. Firefighters didn't have enough water pressure to do their jobs. Are you joking me? The taxes we pay for third world infrastructure is unbelievable. Come on. But once again, as noted, at least the illegal immigrants have their phones and have a place to live and their free health care and education and driver's licenses. Here's one. This is Jillian Michaels. Leadership in California is beyond negligent. This is completely unacceptable. Once again, Mike, when it comes down to it, this could wind up being just like, how in a lot of southern states, it's been the border, how COVID did it for a lot of folks. This could be for many in California, the tipping point, just the whole, once again, the perfect example of the ineptness of left-wing leadership, because they can't even blame Trump for this. I mean, how do you blame Trump? Biden is president. Right? You can't even blame him for this. I mean, you can't even blame Trump for this. There's no Republicans you can blame because at every level of decision making, Democrats were in charge.
In fact, when he was president 45, he toured the fire damage there in California and said, if you guys clean up all this crap in the forest, you won't have all this fire, right?
Yep.
It's just
if you stored more water, you'd have enough water to fight the fire. Yeah, no, he went out of his way and he made it very clear because if there's one thing about Donald Trump, he's not shy about sharing his advice.
He's going to call him like he sees him.
Most definitely. He's going to call it exactly like he sees it. But I don't know, this was completely and utterly preventable, but yet and still you have Gavin Newsom. I'm serious. Gavin Newsom is clear. He is the Baghdad Bob of the Democratic Party. He is in complete and utter denial that anything is going wrong or that any of this is his fault.
Yeah. Yep. Very much so. Him and Justin Trudeau could go form their own new country. They could go
right. And, once again, they're going to blame the Republicans. They're going to blame the rich. And which, by the way, in case you were wondering, yes, the rich now is going to include some of his fellow Democrats, in particular congressional Democrats. There's a study that was recently done. It's being reported on by the folks over there at Breitbart News. In this study, they note that Democrats' stock portfolios spiked 31% in 2024, and it was far outpacing the S&P 500, meaning they're doing better than the experts. Let's read a little bit of this right here. It says here, congressional Democrats appeared to greatly enhance their wealth in 2024, despite only earning yearly salary of $174,000. Democrat stock portfolios in 2024 far outpaced the S&P 500, a study by Unusual Whales found Tuesday, spiking an average 31%, 7 points higher than the S&P 500, and 5 points higher than Republican colleagues at just 26%. Unusual Whales estimated each member's stock portfolio performance by calculating the value of each stock from the beginning of 2024 to the end of 2024. The biggest Democrat offender was Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Democrat from Florida, whose portfolio spiked 142%. Wow. Okay. So, Mike, I'm assuming that this means that Democrats are just so much better with understanding finances than Republicans or even than the stock experts. That had to be why they were so successful. I appear to have lost your sound, Mike. Let me see here. Bam. Let me see if I got you back.
There we go. How about that?
There we go. Gotcha.
We're good there.
Go for it.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz is the biggest criminal there is. Listen, she's embedded down there in Democrat homeland in Broward County, so they protect her. Listen, every year you have like the death pool every year. I have the jail pool, and every year she's number one because it's at some point, someday, in Florida, Governor DeSantis is going to go down there and wipe away all the things that protect her, and she's going to be gone. She's been the criminal mastermind of everything in Broward County for the past 20 years. She's horrible. But listen, you see Pelosi on this list, right? How many times do you have to see? And we noticed your husband made a trade, and you guys came out to $2 billion ahead. Oh, that's got nothing. What's that got to do with it? What's your question? Well, that was my question. Well, I don't understand your question. Just go, you know what? Go kill yourself. That's really all we want from you.
Well, Mike, and I will say this: this is not unique to just Democrats, because there are some Republicans who are although usually with Republicans, it's usually not the stock stuff. A lot of times it's the land stuff. Like there's a guy out here, Ken Calvert, who's a Republican in Southern California who, I'm just going to be honest, dude he bought a piece of property, supported or introduced a bill, passed a bill that actually wound up increasing the value of that property, then turned around and sold the property. But the real problem is the establishment folks that run like the ethics committee who say, oh yeah, that's all good. I mean, I don't know that they've ever found anything that they've said, yeah, no, that's bad. You can't do that.
No. Why would they? They got to take care of each other,
Right. Well, exactly. It's frustrating, but yeah, no, in particular when it comes to stock, the whole system just seemed to lock up there for a second, but we're all good now.
Rendezvous.
But as I was saying, the last thing I talked about was Debbie Wasserman Schultz was pretty much, well, how shall we say, she pretty much, she's now the former head of the DNC. She's the one that she's doing a bang up job of growing her stock portfolio. Are you able to hear me,
Yes.
Mike? Okay, good.
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all for putting up with our technical difficulties. We're going to figure this stuff out one day. One day. It's only been 5 years. So, we thought we had dealt with it, but it's we're now back. Anyway. So these folks, man, I don't know. It's just, there's a reason why Congress has such low approval ratings.
Yes, there is. And now I can see myself moving, but I can't see you moving. No, now you're moving again. Okay.
Yes, I am moving again.
Okay. Gotcha.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see where are we at here. Okay, this next story is an interesting one. It's an interesting one for this reason, and it's basically it's a story. It's been they're talking about how there's a map of where are the most guns, and this is done by Visual Capitalist. And it's a piece here where they're kind of letting you see where the most firearms are in the United States. Now, the interesting thing about this is that they don't necessarily look at what are the most guns. They look at the highest ownership rates, right? So if you look at the list here, it would lead you to believe that places like California have the fewest amount of guns. Because if you look here in California, only 28% of Californians admit to owning firearms. At the same time, only about 15% of those in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, 20% in New Jersey. Once again, in the more liberal states, the firearm ownership rate tends to be a lot lower. But what they don't tell you, Mike, is that because this is a rate, if you multiply the rate times the actual population, California actually then becomes a state with almost, I think maybe Texas, and I did because I didn't do the population numbers for Texas, but California may actually possess the most firearms in the entire country, sheerly by population alone.
Let's check those figures, shall we? Let's see. Because I would.
Yes, I should have warned Mike that there would be math.
So, Texas is population of just over 30 million, and what are they? What'd you say? 46%?
They're over 30 million now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they've almost caught California.
Yeah. So you're talking about 14 million people owning handguns. What's the population of California?
Texas does have the most guns. Well, the
California's
population
39. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
California's
so,
39.
Then,
I do not think that California has the most firearms. Well,
they do not.
The most legally owned firearms. How about that?
Yeah. You probably do have the largest concentration of magazines with less than 10 rounds in them.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. You mean the largest population or largest amount of useless magazines?
Useless magazines, exactly right. Yeah, that's what you have. That's what you have.
Anyway, but once again, and this is why I always tell folks, look, keep an eye on when they talk about like rates. Because they're always going to talk about rates. Like in California, they're going to talk about, well, the rate of mass shootings or the rate of firearm violence is the lowest in California. Well, the couple of things that they ignore when they talk about that. Number one is rate has nothing to do with actual numbers, because when you look at the actual number, California generally tends to be higher, no matter what it is, largely because we have a larger population. The other thing that they tend to ignore is where. Like when you're talking about gun violence or violence involving firearms, they ignore the fact that the overwhelming majority of that does take place, even in red states, because they'll want to say, oh, red states have a high rate. If you look in the red states, find the areas where there's high rates of those sorts of crimes. Guess what? They tend to be blue cities or blue counties.
That's right. That's exactly the problem.
And it's
every time.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but it is a cultural thing. It really is. And that's because it's just amazing to me how Democrats are so open. They're like, well, there's so much crime in this community. I said, first of all, they're like, well, why are there so many police in this community? I said, because that's where the crime is. I said, tell you what, you don't want police in your community? Get your folks to stop committing crimes.
That's it. They are there for the population density and the crime percentage. That's how they distribute police.
Right. Or get your people to stop calling the police when there's a crime. Those are the only two ways the cops ain't going to show up.
Listen, I worked more than one community where they only called the police when the body started stinking.
Did it help?
Oh, yeah, they took care of their own problems. We just always did one kind of report, Oh, look, another dead body recovered. Another dead body recovered.
There is something to be said for outlaw justice.
That's right. That's right. Outlaw justice.
Sometimes it is what it is.
Yep.
All right, in the avenue of the completely, utterly ridiculous and vain, you might remember David Muir. He was one of the ABC anchors that hosted or was the moderator for one of the presidential debates. The completely and utterly biased one there on ABC News. Well, he's caught up in a controversy relating to the LA fire, and evidently he was given a fire jacket to wear, an LAFD fire jacket to wear, and it apparently didn't fit him the way he wanted it to fit. So he decided that he was going to put some clotheslines. Now you look here on the left, you see how the jacket fits him, kind of like it's kind of fitted, right?
Yeah.
But then you see when he turns around that they put clothespins on his jacket in order to make the coat fit well. Now, maybe that's not LAFD. Maybe that's an ABC jacket. But you're thinking, okay, why didn't you bother to just give him a jacket that actually fit like that, if that's what, in fact, he wanted?
That actually looks without the reflective stripe. That looks like the jackets they used to wear on Monday Night Football back in the 70s and 80s.
It does. It does.
But listen, if you don't understand how a fire jacket works, it's fire retardant, first of all, right? But if it catches on fire, you don't want it to be skin tight, okay? Because again, guess what happens? Then you get on fire,
to your skin.
okay? And
Right.
you start to feel the heat. You want it to be baggy. You want a layer of comfort in between you and the fire. I just, this guy happens to be, an idiot. So.
And there also generally tend to be other layers of clothing underneath that fire retardant jacket, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, they are.
So you probably don't want it to be incredibly tight.
No.
Well. Anyway, folks, those of you who are lovers of the left, these are your people.
Yeah,
They're your
these
people.
are our people. I love them. Pull.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. Brought to you by the Babylon Bee, fake news that you can count on. A lot of people don't even know Joe Biden was actually right there in Southern California when the wildfires started. In fact, he wasn't able to leave on time because of the wildfires, so while he was there, Biden decided that he was going to comfort fire victims by telling them about how he once ordered a steak medium, but it was served well done.
Wonderful. I did hear that the fires may have started from Hunter Biden kicking out marijuana roaches out the window when he was done smoking them, but he's already been pardoned for it, so don't worry about it.
Does he still smoke weed? I thought crack pipe, I would believe. Marijuana.
So he's been
maybe
pardoned for everything. Why wouldn't he do whatever he wants?
Right.
He's got 11 days left of a 11 days left of a blanket pardon.
Well, no, actually, the pardon actually was only up to the end of December 1st. So he had a good 24 hours of free activity.
You don't think old Sleepy Joe's going to amend that before he leaves in 11 days?
You're right. You're right. Wouldn't put it past him.
Yep.
But hey, you know what? One thing we do know though is that the problem of the wildfire has been solved because Newsom announces plan to make fire illegal.
There you go. Perfect. Wonderful.
Good stuff.
It's going to be illegal. There you go. But that means they're going to let it. They're not going to stop it. It's illegal, but we're still going to let it do what it wants.
We don't enforce laws here in California,
right?
Unless you happen to be rich, white, and straight male.
Yeah.
Then we enforce the law.
I wonder. By the way, who sponsored that photo shoot?
Funny stuff. Home Depot.
Maybe, perhaps. Come get your Newsom bucket of crap.
And then finally, Obama and Trump separated Carter funeral for disruptive behavior. Now I don't know. I didn't watch much of the funeral, but I did watch a segment on this one, and all you could see is Donald Trump and Obama just kind of yucking it up, and I'm like, these people sure do love Nazis. These Democrats, for people who claim to hate Democrats, they sure do love them some Nazis.
You know why Obama was able to have fun there?
Why?
Because Big Mike's in Hawaii. She decided not to come.
Oh, snap. Big Mike.
Yep.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. Just saying. That's cold. Big Mike. All right, folks. Well, that brings us to just about near the end of the show. But before we go, let's go ahead and give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yep, let's say hi to our friends at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Now you can get whatever barrel you want in whatever caliber or whatever length. In fact, today I went and picked up a 7.5 inch and a 5 inch 9mm barrels for a couple of projects I got going on here. Anything you desire at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today, as long as it involves fire. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear for law enforcement, military, security, EMS, fire, personal security, whatever it may be, you can get everything except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Take a moment, visit our sponsors, tell them the guys over at the Rundown sent you. And with that, we're going to call it a day. We will be back tomorrow. That's right, tomorrow will be Free for All Friday. We're going to have a good time. Y'all have fun, stay safe, and if you get a chance, make sure to send a few downrange. Till then,
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
pew pew.
Pew, pew.